Estados Unidos va a enviar 31 tanques Abraham a Ucrania.
Zelensky and the Ukrainians have a lot of applaudisement and not enough ammunition.
Vamos a volver a mandar material defensivo y ofensivo a Ucrania.
Las armas son el camino hacia la paz.
No more war! No more war! No more war!
Aunque tienen poca tribuna mediática, cada vez hay más estadounidenses que piden a su gobierno dejar de financiar la guerra y propiciar un escenario de negociación entre Rusia y Ucrania que permita poner fin a la guerra. Un reclamo que también se escucha en distintos países de Europa y entre el propio pueblo ucraniano.
The Ukrainian people are not being heard. The only ones that are being heard are the ones that want more weapons, which is the government faction of Ukraine. Ordinary Ukrainian people want the war to stop, and the weapons don't help anything.
My organization, the Anti-War Committee, we see it as a proxy war that between the U.S. and Russia that's being waged in Ukraine with Ukrainian bodies. You know, they're willing to fight to the last Ukrainian. You know, Ukrainians are dying for the designs of the U.S. and NATO. And we oppose it entirely.
Se oponen al envío de armas a Ucrania porque están convencidos de que la guerra es un gran negocio que beneficia a pocos y destruye a muchos. Además, alertan que este enfrentamiento, que ya involucra a todos los países de la OTAN, podría desembocar en una tercera guerra mundial.
Starting wars all over the world does not protect its own people. It protects the interest of a certain class of people, the weapons manufacturers, the rich people that benefit from new markets opening in new countries. It doesn't help the American people, and so I think the government is being irresponsible in putting the world in jeopardy, as well as the American people in jeopardy, by getting us closer to nuclear war.
More than $50 billion, I believe, has been sent to Ukraine in terms of arms and other forms of aid, but mostly arms, just in arms. And meanwhile, you know, in the U.S., schools go underfunded. People have trouble with inflation, with affording rent. People are working more and more hours. The conditions of life in the U.S. are getting worse, especially recently. Things are taking a downturn. And these wars, the war in Ukraine, but other wars as well, you know, they benefit a tiny elite in the U.S.
Para muchos, este conflicto se pudo haber evitado si la OTAN cumplía su palabra de no expandirse a países cercanos a Rusia, si Estados Unidos no hubiera organizado un golpe de Estado en Ucrania en el año 2014 que provocó la fractura territorial de ese país, si no hubieran armado a militares y grupos neonazis ucranianos que por más de 8 años han atacado a la población rusoparlante del este de Ucrania y si atendían las garantías de seguridad que pidió Rusia durante 2 décadas.
The U.S. has been meddling in Ukraine for a decade now. They've been arming far-right organizations and neo-Nazi organizations in Ukraine. Those organizations have now integrated themselves into the Ukrainian police and National Guard. They control the Ministry of the Interior, which means, and additionally, the Constitution of Ukraine was rewritten in 2014 to include the necessity of pursuing NATO membership, which makes it all of this makes it very difficult for Ukraine to back away from war.
Distintos gobiernos del mundo como China y varias naciones de América Latina han insistido en la necesidad de poner fin al conflicto armado en Ucrania a través del diálogo y la negociación. Sin embargo, Estados Unidos y sus aliados insisten que el fin del conflicto se definirá en el campo de batalla.
And from what I understand, the government of Ukraine was willing to negotiate with Russia and was prevented from doing so by the United States and by NATO, because NATO and the United States have their own interests, and they don't care that the Ukrainian people are dying. They want to weaken Russia, and they want to split Russia into different regions because there are enormous resources in Russia, natural resources.
A un año de la respuesta militar rusa, aún no está a la vista una posible solución al conflicto. Lo que sí se percibe es la intención de Estados Unidos de abrir un nuevo frente de batalla, esta vez contra China, país al que considera un rival que pone en riesgo su hegemonía mundial. Ya China advirtió que si Estados Unidos no pisa el freno, será inevitable una confrontación, un conflicto que podría tener unas consecuencias impredecibles para toda la humanidad. Karen Méndez, Venezuela News, Caracas.